15 races down. Just one race remaining. It was back at the end of April when we gathered at the Spa circuit for the season opener. Since then, we have crowned that man. That happened yesterday as the drivers' champion in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Larry ten Voorde, the legend, continues. The steamroller continues because he put the championship out of reach of Ayhan Can yesterday. He started from pole position then. He starts from pole position again today. The Pro-Am category is also tied up. That's gone the way of Carlos Rivas and the team championship to Team GP Elite. But the rookie championship could not be closer. It really is very exciting. Luke Hartog came into this weekend leading Bastian Boost by just 2 points. Hartog had a far better day of it yesterday than Boost did, and now has extended that to 12 points. But by the end of this race, we will know who the rookie champion is. And just to add a little bit of spice into it, Boost, second in the points, starts in P6. Hartog, leading the points, starts 14th. He's got an awful lot of work to do. I can't wait for this. Can you, Dave Richardson?
It's been really, really good. And in fairness, you always want the championship to intensify and run right down to the final wire. And that's precisely what it's doing with regards to, as you say, that championship between Luke Hartog and Bastian Boost. Okay, fair enough. Larry ten Voorde has won the Drivers' Championship, and he's won it in style as the engine note of these phenomenal racing cars rise, and they run on their formation lap now. Final race of the season, 2021 for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. Lots of spectators to enjoy the race action from Porsche, which will come, I can assure you, thick and fast, because we have a huge grid of cars, and I will bring you the entire starting grid right now. Larry ten Voorde goes from pole position with Maurice Scheuring alongside him. It's a Team GP Elite lockout on row 1. Row 2 finds Lauren Heinrich and Leon Köhler going from P3 and P4 respectively. Ayhan Can P5 and Bastian Boost for Allied Racing P6. Hugh van Eindhoven P7 and Jukka Honkavori going from P8 with Rudy van Buren and Thierry Vermeulen going from P9 and P10. On to row 6 is Dan van Koyk and Christopher Zochling. They go from P11 and P12 respectively. To row 7 where we find Lucas Grunefeld and Luke Hartog then for Black Falcon team. Julian Hanses and Fabio Gitanola go from P15 and P16 on row 8, and on row 9 it's Sandro Kaibach and Rudolf Rin, P17 and P18. Kim-Andre Hauschild and Carlos Rivas are on the 10th row of the grid. It's P19 and P20. And then onto the 11th row where we find Soren Spreng and Basha Mardini. And they are P21 and P22. P23 for Stefan Raykop, and Jan-Erik Sluten goes from P24. As we continue to roll through the grid, Georgi Donchev goes from P25 with Ahmed Al-Shahab alongside P26. Sebastian Glazer and Christoph Langer share row 14, Ps27 and 28. And then Holger Hansen for HRT Motorsport goes from row 15, P29 on the grid. The cars are on their formation lap, trying to warm the tyres. Larry ten Voorde has had a stellar season, and he would very much like to round out the season with a P1. He's put himself into the perfect position to so do. And Ayhan Can then for Phoenix Racing, who of course is going further down the grid. But Larry ten Voorde wants to finish on a high. And to finish on a high, you've got to be on the top step of the podium, because that's the highest place you can be come the end of the race. Ayhan Can then puts the car millimetrically perfectly into his starting box. And here is Carlos Rivas, who of course has secured the Pro-Am Championship. He is the Pro-Am Championship winner for 2021.
There's definitely a sense of gloves off for this race, because Larry ten Voorde, Ayhan Can no longer have to think about the championship. It's just racing for the win. So we're really looking forward to this. Of course, Larry ten Voorde starting on the left-hand side of the track. That's the clean side of the track that gives him the most grip. That's the advantage of the pole position man. And Maurice Scheuring starting from P2 for the second time this weekend. It's an identical front row to yesterday.
To protect my learned colleague's voice, we are going to stand by for all the shouting to come the way of me as the green flag is waved from the marshal at the back of the pack. Keep your eyes on the lighting gantry, which is working today. 4 red lights, 5 red lights. The engine note rises, so too does the excitement and anticipation. A great start from Maurice Schöring, and less of a good start for Larry ten Voorde. And Hockenheimring gets touched and is out of the runoff area. He'll be able to save the car from there. But what a start. And through to the front is Leon Köhler. Wow, what a start from Leon Köhler. So Schöring P2, ten Voorde P3, Ayhancan Guven is P4 and is threatening Larry ten Voorde and goes ahead of Larry ten Voorde. Oh, he'll be thinking, if only I could have done that in the championship. And Bastien Boos is also on a charge as well as they head up to the hairpin for the first time of asking, hold on to everything, here they come.
I told you the gloves were off, didn't I? Hockenheimring, almost a repeat of the 2 races from the Sachsenring, not quite making it around turn 1. We've got drama up on turn 6 at the hairpin. It looks like everybody's gathered it up, but keep an eye on Bastien Boos. He has got a point to prove, but Luke Hartog has made a great start as well. So these 2 young chargers working their way forwards, and Hartog looking to maintain that lead in the Rookie Championship and win by the end of this race. On board with Ayhancan Guven in P5, but Leon Köhler, well, he went like the proverbial drain pipe, and he is leading the way by some distance from, is that Maurice Schöring and then Larry ten Voorde. But Bastien Boos already up into P4.
Ayhancan Guven is chasing Bastien Boos for all his worth now. As you can see, Bastien Boos then, great start from him. Maurice Schöring initially got a very good start as well. Almost contact there from Ayhancan Guven on the back of the Bastien Boos car, which we ride on board with now, looking back at the Ayhancan Guven car. First lap is put in the book, and Leon Köhler, can I just tell you this, he is 1.7 seconds ahead of Maurice Schöring. What a start he's had. One car dives into the pit lane, and that is Hockenheimring.
So Hockenheimring continuing his miserable form in the race 2s of the weekend, and he had a miserable time at the Sachsenring. It does appear to be continuing here for race 2 this weekend. We're keeping an eye on the Rookie Championship. Remember, Bastien Boos currently running 2nd in category. Luke Hartog is 11th on the road, and if the race finishes as it is now, Hartog will clinch the Rookie Championship by 8 points. So you can see that Boos just needs to get as far forwards as he can and wish all the worst on Luke Hartog. I'm sure that's not the case. I think the 2 of them are very good friends off the track, but on the track there's definitely a great rivalry. There is Luke Hartog there in the yellow and black car. He just needs to keep out of trouble and keep working his way through the traffic.
Absolutely, he's got to think and drive with his head, hasn't he, and bank the points. And Bastien Boos, all he can do is go forward. You're absolutely right. And I think I am always around as gone. Is that ten Voorde?
No, it's Lucas Grunewald, I think.
Well done for spotting that. Well done. Lucas Grunewald has gone around. Good avoidance by all the other drivers as well. Larry ten Voorde, no, running in P3 with Maurice Schöring P2 and P1. Leon Köhler, who has put 1.7 seconds ahead of Schöring and ten Voorde. But Bastien Boos is chasing hard here, and looking at the times, Bastien Boos is going quicker than anyone. So Bastien Boos means business. Quick replay then as we see that car go around, and all sorts of strife there. But thankfully, everyone managing to avoid it as a couple of cars get out onto the grass there. And that was Christopher Sochling, I think, who gathered it up and saved it. And right behind Christopher Sochling is that green livery that we've not seen before, as we try and close our door so that you can hear us, because the cars are so noisy. Carlos Rivas we're on board with now, and you can see on the inside of Carlos Rivas is that Dan Van Kooyt car in that Team GP Elite, very familiar livery.
I'll tell you when Bastien Boos, the 4th place runner, is at his most dangerous, is when he's got his back into the corner. Remember at Oschersleben, he collected that wheel partway through the race and then proceeded to put in fastest laps. Earlier in the season, last weekend in fact, he qualified very lowly and ended up working his way all the way back up through the grid to finish P8. Bastien Boos is a driver who seems to thrive when the odds are stacked against him, and that should make Luke Hartog just a little bit worried. There's Lauren Heinrich. He's been into the pits. He rejoins. He is 29th and last. And I think Lauren Heinrich, who came into this season as one of the pre-season championship favourites, will be quite happy to get into 2022.
So a replay of the start then, as it all gets very busy on the tarmac then ahead of the start of the race, as the lights release the cars into turn number 1. Various camera angles that we look at the replay here. Such a busy grid, and well, this was what initially, and there was contact, wasn't there, on the side of the Heinrich car. He was able to gather it up and save it from the barriers. Kim-Andre Hauschard that we go on board with now and see it from his perspective inside the car, trying to attack the car ahead of Sandro Kaibach. And coming through alongside him there was the car of Rudolf Rin and Kim-Andre Hauschard that we're on board with now. And these replays of the start sequence from Larry Ten Vorder, it wasn't the start that he would have liked. Warren Schuring got a very good start, and then it was Lauren Heinrich around the outside, and that was another great replay from being on board. Now, this is what it was like from Ian Chan Guven's perspective, the Phoenix Racing driver. Into turn number 1, you can see Heinrich disappearing to the left-hand side of the grid, and the 2 GP Elite drivers having to make their way back onto the tarmac, delineated by the white lines. A bit of contact there behind that we could see from that onboard camera as well.
And there's a shot of Maurice Schuring on the inside of Larry Ten Vorder. And was that Luke Hartog that got ravelled up? He was one of the cars that got sideways in the hairpin on that opening lap, and he would have seen his rookie championship flashing before his eyes then. He gathered it up, pointed it in the right direction, and kept it going, clearly without damage. But that's the very thing. That's just on board with Hartog, and you could see, well, I'm pleased we haven't got his helmet mic'd up, because I should think there'd be a few Dutch expletives coming across the air. But he gets it back in the right direction. It was just too many cars around that controversial hairpin. The question is, has he got any damage?
Well, he gathered it up really well, didn't he? And minimised the damage. But undoubtedly, it really rather shatters your confidence right at the start of the race. But cool head on him and did well.
Maurice Schuring is having a great day. He had his best result ever in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany yesterday with a P3. He's currently running in P2 ahead of his new champion teammate, Larry Ten Vorder. The new champion, that is. Bastian Boos is just behind, doing all that he can. Luke Hartog currently 10th on the road and 4th in category. And if Hartog could just keep it where he is, then he will walk away with the rookie championship. The race has settled down just a little bit. It's 30 minutes plus 1 lap. And the incident where we saw Luke Hartog turn around is under investigation by our race stewards.
So we ride on board then, and it's always a great position to ride on board with Bastian Boos looking back at Ian Chan Guven as we were, as we pick those up now. Bastian Boos, of course, needs to move forward if he can, and at the moment Ian Chan Guven is trying to give him the hurry up as well. And there you can see over the last 3 laps how the laps have evolved between Bastian Boos and Ian Chan Guven. As Brian said, if Luke Hartog stays in his P10 position, that's it. The rookie championship is gathered up for him. So Bastian Boos needs to try and get ahead if he possibly can. The more places he can make up, of course, the help is given to his championship charge. But I'm sure, would not necessarily wish any harm to Luke Hartog. Of course, that is the man that is doing the chasing, or Bastian Boos is doing the chasing, and this is the man that he is chasing, the Black Falcon Team Textile driver, Luke Hartog, who at the moment is currently running in P10.
Bastian Boos. Oh, we've got a car that is running a little bit of rallycross off the track then, and that is, yes, it is Fabio Citignola. But he doesn't look to have any damage. I was about to say that Bastian Boos made that great start, but he's looking more and more under threat from Ian Chan Guven. and they're not in the same race as each other, so Bastien Bus will probably do well to let Guven go, because the rookie championship is the points are scored separately to the main championship, and he is not in the same race as Ayhancan Guven.
But of course, he wants to finish as high up as he can. He's a racing driver, you know, that's in their psyche, isn't it? Huub van Eindhoven and Luke Hartog, then P9 and P10. And again, you can see this seesaw action in terms of lap times between the two of them. As Ayhancan Guven is nearly a cog in the gearbox of the Bastien Bus car. You can see how close they were, and there is Luke Hartog, kind of out on his own at the moment, isn't he, as he tries to chase down that car ahead, car number 12, of course, which is look, it's resplendent in that green. I absolutely love that Van Eindhoven that we can see.
Beautiful, isn't it? I think Hartog has had a bit of a reputation, certainly in the second half of the season, as one to come through the pack when he needs to. But it's good to actually see, if he wants to win this rookie championship, that he's not going mental, because he doesn't need to. He just needs to keep Bastien Bus within sight. This is the last race of the season. There's nothing else to prove. So he just pretty well needs to hold where he's at now, and there's not a lot that Bastien Bus can do about it.
No, absolutely. It's not in his control at all. All he can do is finish as high up the order as he can. At the moment, he is being propelled nicely by Ayhancan Guven. Bastien Bus currently running in P4. Larry ten Voorde is P3. Maurice Schering P2. And then the leader of the race by some 3.6 seconds is Leon Köhler.
And Maurice Schering now coming under pressure from Larry ten Voorde. That's the two Team GP elite drivers. Now, I don't suppose there are any team orders whatsoever. Maurice Schering desperately wants to score his best result of the season. That would launch him into 2022 very nicely indeed, thank you. Larry ten Voorde, though, looks to the inside, and actually Schering just pretty well offers him the place, doesn't he? He tries the switchback, but I don't think there's anything too aggressive going on as they bounce off each other coming out of turn 6. And I will get my coat, and oh, well, maybe they are going to drive into each other. So, well, just what do I know? Maurice Schering retakes that position. The youngest driver to ever race in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, very impressive, and Bastien Bus has caught up as well.
Well, this is playing nicely into the hands of Bastien Bus, isn't he? The more they can fight ahead of him, the greater it is for him. We're on board here, and this is what it's like from being inside the Larry ten Voorde car as he continues to chase Maurice Schering. And, well, if Larry thought getting past one of his teammates was going to be made relatively easy, think again. He might be the champion, you've still got to find a way by. And Bastien Bus and Ayhancan Guven. Ayhancan Guven is looking really, really lively, isn't he? And Bastien Bus is, whilst he's trying to attack, he's in this invidious position, isn't he, where he's being hunted as well as hunting.
Absolutely. Oh, look at Guven going wide there. So Ayhancan Guven, I'm wondering whether tyre wear might be a bit of an issue. Just behind him is Hockenheimring, and Hockenheimring just quietly hanging in there, looking for his best result of the season if he can finish in P6. Just tracking Ayhancan Guven, and if Guven has any more excursions onto the grass, I think Hockenheimring is going to be through.
On board with Ayhancan Guven then, as we were just momentarily. So here's Maurice Schering, there's Larry ten Voorde, Bastien Bus, and Ayhancan Guven. Then the cars that we can see there as Christopher Zoeteling has managed to put himself ahead of Rudy van Buren. So Christopher Zoeteling now is in P7 as the cars break now for the hairpin, and Bastien Bus almost into the back of Larry ten Voorde, and almost caned by the car of Ayhancan Guven as well. These five, it's a five-way fight of the P2 at the moment, isn't it? It's brilliant for us. Really, really enjoying this. So, Larry ten Voorde not as close to Maurice Schering as he was last lap around, and Larry ten Voorde is quite sensible here. What he'll be doing is he'll just be holding on to the car and not necessarily doing every lap in a real quest to try and get by Maurice Schering. He'll await his time, almost lull Maurice into a full sense of security, and then Bosch have a real go. And that's what I think, but then what do I?
Keep an eye on Christopher Zoeteling. He's just found a route past Rudy van Buren, has already opened up a gap. He's in the light blue and green car behind. He got a podium last time out at Sachsenring and was ecstatic. He's a man on a mission. He's closing in on Yuko Hockenheimring just at the back of that queue that you're watching, and I think Zoeteling might be a bit of a factor in that battle before too long as well. further back, we have the Pro-Am drivers. Every single one of them are running together on track, headed by the freshly crowned Pro-Am champion, Carlos Rivas, and that is P16 on the track as we ride with Bastien Bus.
Which is always an enjoyable ride, I have to say, not having had the privilege of that too often. Now, car number 89 is being told to respect the track limits, and that's the car of Bashar Mardini. So you've got to respect the track limits at turn 1, and he's not the only one to be warned about that, because Carlos Rivas has also been warned previously about that. Now you can see just how far Leon Köhler has just escaped. He has time to make himself a coffee ahead of Maurice Scheuring. It's 5.3 seconds in the first half of this race. Bastien Bus has had his rearview mirrors full of that car of Iron Chain Guven for every single lap, pretty much. And this was the little knock-on effect, if you like, as Iron Chain Guven said, take that, Bastien Bus. And here we can see it from Iron Chain Guven. I promise you, I pressed the pedal as hard as I could, Bastien, he will say.
It was get out of the way, that's what he's actually saying. Leon Köhler with that 5.3 second lead. That is a massive gap when you consider these cars are all absolutely identical. It's just setup and driving ability that separates them. 5.3 in Porsche Carrera Cup racing is an absolute massive gap. And Leon Köhler really taking this race by the scruff of the neck, if it had a neck. We're riding on board with Iron Chain Guven, and he's staring at the back of the Bastien Bus car.
Maurice Scheuring is being warned about track limits as well. Now, Maurice Scheuring, of course, is running in P2. He's got Larry Tenvorda really pushing him hard. This is the gap between P4 and P5, Iron Chain Guven and Bastien Bus. It's measured in the 100ths rather than the 10ths. So close are they, and so close that they've made contact on more than one occasion. Christopher Zoechling, who you mentioned just a few moments ago, having got past Rudy Van Buren, could be a danger man here because he is right on the back of Jukka Honkavori as well. Here comes Luke Hartog, who seems damage-free following the almost turnaround at the hairpin in the early stages of this race, and he is still running in that P10 position. So Bastien Bus now feels the wrath of Iron Chain Guven more than ever before. So Iron Chain Guven, who has been a constant source of aggression to Bastien Bus. Bastien Bus, having done a very, very good job of defending, is continuing to have to defend, and he's not able to really take the race to Larry Tenvorda in P3 because he's had his rearview mirrors full of the Iron Chain Guven car for the entire race. There is Christopher Zoechling, who I mentioned just a few moments ago, who is very nearly on the back of Jukka Honkavori, and behind Christopher Zoechling is Rudy Van Buren. So here comes Maurice Scheuring for P2, Larry Tenvorda P3, then it is Bastien Bus and Iron Chain Guven. Then it's Jukka Honkavori and Christopher Zoechling rounding out the top 7 at the moment with, what have we got, just under 13 minutes of this race remaining.
And if the race finishes now, the champion, the Rookie Driver Championship, will go the way of Luke Hartog, because as things stand at the moment, there's a 5-point gap between them. And Bastien Bus, well, he can try and get past Maurice Scheuring, but Maurice Scheuring is at the front of that queue, and Bastien Bus is hauled up in the middle.
You're absolutely right.
I'm just looking, if he did get past Maurice Scheuring, that would put Hartog and Bus on equal points.
Oh, my goodness me.
This is the bit where we get the rule book out and try to work out what the countback is.
I have to say, at the moment, I'm not sure Bastien Bus has quite got the pace to be able to do that. Iron Chain Guven then is keeping him keen, that's for sure. And here is Maurice Scheuring and Larry Tenvorda. Then it is Bastien Bus and Iron Chain Guven. So they all take the curbs there, as you can see, and these cars look really, really good. Well, that one doesn't, because we don't want to see it up on its jacks. Unfortunately, the final race of the season was not a good one for Lauren Heinrich or Van Berger Huber Racing, and it's a great shame that his season finishes with the car up on the jacks.
So Little Nicky, as the car is nicknamed, is levitated into the air, and Heinrich not had the second half of the season that he had hoped for. I think that if they were to finish on equal points in the championship, I think it would still go the way to Luke Hartog on account of finishing the highest. There you can see it's 8 points between them at the moment, and but as we say, that would, for them to finish equal in the points, Boos would need to get past Maurice Scheuring, and Maurice Scheuring is doing a very good job. And of course, Larry Tenforder may well, he's going to be a hard man to pass anyway, isn't he?
That is the problem, isn't it? When you're relying on, to get to Maurice Scheuring, is first of all got to get through Larry Tenforder, and that's going to be a big ask, particularly given that we have, 10 and 3/4 minutes of the race remaining. Not seeing it, I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. I think that Bastian Boos is in the position where he is hoping that something befalls Hartog, and at the moment Hartog has got 4 wheels on the wagon. They're all pointing in the right direction, and he's holding on to 4th in category. That is 10th on the road. And of course we are focusing on the fight further back, because it is still the only championship to be decided. The team champions are those 2 cars there, Maurice Scheuring and Larry Tenforder, just 2 of the 5 GP Elite Porsches that we've seen, and they have clinched the team championship. Carlos Rivas secured the Pro-Am championship yesterday, and the big one, the main drivers championship, went to the number 25 car of Larry Tenforder, adding to his ever-extending roll of honour. He's going to need a piece of toilet paper to write all the championships he's got on, because there are so many of them now, and he's added the 2021 Porsche Carrera Cup
Thing to say. Never heard such dribble. Really, I haven't. Right. Leon Kerler, Maurice Scheuring, Larry Tenforder and Bastian Boos. I think a roll of wallpaper would have been slightly more appropriate.
Yes. That was in the moment, all right? That was in the moment.
Well, Larry Tenforder won't mind how you describe it. There is no doubt he is a hugely, hugely successful driver who has got a glittering motor racing career ahead of him. There's no question. He's still a young guy, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. When you think he's clinched the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship as well this year, that is no mean feat. That's very competitive. He was the defending champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, so he successfully defended that. And now look at Yuka Honkavori, and he is challenging Ayanchen Guven for P5 in this race. Guven having something of a subdued weekend by his standards, and he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to seal the Drivers' Championship, and he'll be disappointed if Honkavori finds a route past. Well, this, of course, is playing into the hands of Bastian Boos, who can focus now on the rear end of Larry Tenforder, because he's able to escape. And Christopher Sochling is just waiting to pick up the pieces here, isn't he? He's running in P7 with Honkavori and Guven with their fight that we can see centre stage right now. It could all play nicely into the hands of Christopher Sochling, who is just waiting to pounce in P7 at the moment. Luke Hartog in P10 has actually closed in on Huub van Eindhoven, who is running in 9th, but if he can get past him, that would give him an even bigger cushion in the Rookie Points Championship, because they are in the same championship. Eindhoven is guesting this weekend, his first appearance in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany in 2021. And he is in the Rookie Championship, but if Hartog were to get past him, that really would put things out of reach for Bastian Boos, whatever he does. Well, I have to say, with 7.5 minutes plus a lap remaining, I'm sorry to say, unless some, as you say, disaster were to befall Luke Hartog, I think whatever Bastian Boos can do ain't going to be enough. Did you just see Ayanchen Guven bumping across the curbs? I thought that it was like the wall of death. I mean, the car going up onto 2 wheels. Absolutely brilliant stuff. They build them strong at Porsche, don't you know? And Ayanchen Guven, well, he's out crash testing them, and they still hold together. Brilliant stuff. Look, this is Christopher Zirkling, and he is lining up Yuka Honkavori. That's for P6, and I think he might be looking to make a challenge within the next 7 minutes. You're absolutely right. You're also right in terms of Porsche make them strong and reliable and hugely quick. Also amazes me just how the drivers wring the neck of these cars to get the maximum out of them. And Larry Tenforder is wringing the neck out of his at the moment, because he wants to get by Maurice Scheuring. At the moment, he's been denied. Maurice Scheuring is showing the old campaigner, if I dare say so, a clean pair of heels, and has not yielded to the pressure from the current champion.
Bastian Buss is clearly trying very hard because he's just been given a warning about track limits at turn 1. Oh, the famous turn 1, where track limits are a running theme. So clearly he's pushing very, very hard. Larry Tenforder is pushing Maurice Schuring very hard, almost literally. The two cars, well, there's just one big blob of orange, black and white, really, isn't it? Because Maurice Schuring goes wide out of the final corner, and finally Larry Tenforder is through. I don't think he quite nudged him wide, but it was pretty close, wasn't it?
I think there was an assist there, I really do. But Larry Tenforder has gone through, and Larry Tenforder P2. Now he's got to find 6.5 seconds to get on terms with Leon Köhler. And within 5.5 minutes that we've got remaining, I think that's going to be something of a big ask.
I would pretty well guarantee that if he can catch them now, Bastian Buss will be making a move on Maurice Schuring, because they are in the same championship, and that will give Bastian Buss first place in category. And whether he's aware of what Hartog is up to behind him or not, he knows that to get past Maurice Schuring will give him the maximum number of points that he can extract out of this race and give him the best possible chance of taking that championship win.
Of course, it still won't be enough. Now, here we are. This was very, very hard with Larry Tenforder and Maurice Schuring. Perhaps there wasn't a contact between the two of them. See it from...
And actually, Schuring got out wide onto that runoff area, which is like ice on that particular corner. It's the old drag strip, and it's bad enough trying to walk on it, not to mention drive on it. It's very, very slippery. And I think Schuring might have got some room on there made some room for him to get past and get through.
So Leon Köhler leading by 6.5 seconds. Ahead of Larry Tenforder and Maurice Schuring and Bastian Buss.
So that's a leader, Leon Köhler, 6.4 seconds. That is a massive gap. And Larry Tenforder, well, now that he's past Maurice Schuring, will be looking to peg that back. But Larry Tenforder in P2, he's got an awful lot of a gap to close up with 4 minutes remaining of this race.
Just 4 minutes. Where has the race gone?
Where has the season gone?
Yeah, fair point. Leon Köhler then, he was very, very aggressive right at the start of the race. He meant business, and the business was conducted in the way that gave him P1, and he has never looked back since and has led this race. 6.5 seconds is his current margin. Here you can see Bastian Buss, who's clearly quicker than Maurice Schuring, but he's got to find a way by. And he has got Ayhancan Guven and Jukka Honkavori and Christopher Sochling all right behind him. And they're lining up on board with the Bastian Buss Allied racing car then as he continues to try and reel in Maurice Schuring. And that's what he's doing. And Bastian Buss with 3 minutes remaining plus a lap of this 4.574 kilometer Hockenheim circuit. Bastian Buss, who's, to be fair, been a real entertainer during the course of the season, and out of the car is a really nice guy as well. So Ayhancan Guven, you can see there in that really livery that you cannot mistake. There was a little mistake from Maurice Schuring as he just lost a bit of grip through that turn. That has allowed a couple of 100s to be used to get closer by Bastian Buss, in my opinion. But we are running out of time. 2.5 minutes is all that remains. The final race of the Porsche Carrera Cup for 2021.
It's Leon Köhler who leads the race. It's Maurice Schuring who leads the rookie category, and it's Carlos Rivas who leads the way in the Pro-Am category. But that man there, the number 4 of Luke Hartog, leads the points table in the rookie category. He just needs to keep it exactly where he is now. That's 4th in category, 10th on the track to become the rookie champion for 2021. You can see Hugo van Eindhoven ahead of him. What he doesn't need to do is do anything silly, take any risk to get past the green car, because it's not necessary.
Meantime, there is plenty going on elsewhere, and if I may say, the driver here that I think has been a little quiet and I thought might be a bit aggressive would be Christopher Sochling, because of this battle that's going ahead of him between Jukka Honkavori and Ayhancan Guven. Christopher Sochling not quite close enough to be able to take advantage of it, but he tries to move in now. as Ian Guven and Yuka Honkavori get very, very physical between the two of them. Here comes Christopher Sochling. I said earlier on he's ready to pounce, or he could be ready to pounce, as these two factions fight ahead of him. So a three-way fight that is going on here for P5. Ian Guven is currently P5, then it's Yuka Honkavori, and then it is Christopher Sochling. So a minute is remaining in this final Porsche Carrera Cup Germany race of the season. And what a race it has proven to be. So now, as the tyre wear is beginning to impact and affect some of the cars, the black and white flags with regards to track limits being come out a lot of times and affecting a lot of drivers. Ten Border has taken some time out of Leon Curler, but it's all really rather too late. There's just 6.113 seconds between Leon Curler and Larry Ten Border, but there's just 30 seconds plus one lap on the clock left in this race.
As the light fades at the Hockenheim circuit, this late season race, and it's the end of the season. You can see Ian Guven going wide again, and Yuka Honkavori has finally found a route past, and Christopher Zirkling trying to go through on his shirt tails, doesn't quite make it, but Ian Guven clearly struggling with adhesion in the closing part of this race. Yuka Honkavori finally stealing 6th place, 5th place away from him. And now here comes Christopher Zirkling, but Ian Guven sees a gap on the inside, but Yuka Honkavori has the quicker line out of the hairpin and holds on to that position.
Extraordinary racing between these three drivers then. Yuka Honkavori, Ian Guven and Christopher Sochling. Sebastian Boos has, by my reckoning, got ahead of Scheuring as well.
Yes, he has. So Bastian Boos has found the route pass, so that puts he and Luke Hartog level on points. But we believe it would still go to Luke Hartog despite that. So Bastian Boos up into 3rd place, taking a spot on the podium. And Bastian Boos will be very happy with that. It's Larry Ten Border ahead of him. And look how quickly Boos is getting past, pulling away from Maurice Scheuring. We said that when Boos has got the odds stacked against him is when he's at his most dangerous. And he's proven that to be the case, because he is proving to be very rapid as he looks to equal his best result of the season in the main race, which would be 3rd overall.
So we start the final lap as a car has gone around, and that car is the Holger Harmsen car. So car number 69, Holger Harmsen. You can see that the steering is still moving, and Holger Harmsen can probably recover the car from there. However, it is the final lap that we are on right now, and it is Leon Curler from Larry Ten Border from Bastian Boos. Christopher Sochling is still very, very lively. Here is Luke Hartog then. And the Porsche Carrera Cup rookie prediction would be Luke Hartog on 301 points. Bastian Boos 8 points behind. And Christopher Sochling isn't done with this yet. He has got the car of Ian Guven well within his target sights here. And Christopher Sochling wants to convert that P7 into P6. We're on the last lap. Here comes Larry Ten Border. Here is Bastian Boos being chased by Maurice Scheuring. Christopher Sochling on the inside of Ian Guven. Guven goes for the switchback now as they almost touch, but Christopher Sochling with the inside line here. Ian Guven runs wide but gets something of a slingshot, which gives him the pace over Christopher Sochling, who is not done with this yet. All the way to the checkered flag. This fight is going to continue to rage. Fantastic stuff from the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. We love it. Leon Curler loves it more than anybody else.
Out of the final corner he comes for the final race of the 2021 season. Is Leon Curler, who crosses the finish line to win ahead of Larry Ten Border, a plume of smoke. Then comes Bastian Boos, Maurice Scheuring and Yuka Honkavori. Ian Guven has lost out to Christopher Zirkling, but the man who wins the rookie championship, Luke Hartog, coming home 10th on the road to win the rookie championship for 2021. Great stuff.
So the order was Leon Curler, Larry Ten Border, P1 and P2, P3 Bastian Boos, P4 Maurice Scheuring. Then it was Yuka Honkavori ahead of Ian Guven, P6, Christopher Sochling, P7. Then Rudy Van Buren, P8. Van Eindhoven, P9, and Luke Hartog finishes P10, and that is enough.
Fantastic stuff, and big credit to both Luke Hartog and Bastian Boos. They've kept this rookie championship going all season long. They have entertained us. Two of the really exciting new drivers in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany as Leon Köhler goes to pick up a little bit of rubber on his car and gets a bit onto the grass as well. But he will be delighted, taking his second win of the season. His first came at the Red Bull Ring, and Leon Köhler winning the final race of the season.
So there is Leon Köhler, as you say, and there are the donuts from Larry Ten Voorde. We love it. Go on, keep on entertaining, because that's what motor racing is all about. And for those who say, no, you don't want to be seeing that. Oh, yes, we do. Come on.
Well, they won't be needing those tyres again, will they? There'll be somebody's coffee table by next weekend. So Larry Ten Voorde absolutely blitzing at the tyres with some wonderful donuts. The car is full of smoke. Amazing. Oh, and the Pro-Am champion as well, Carlos Rivas. Great stuff. Real showmanship.
And we love it. You know, at the end of the day, it is a very, very serious and important sport. But come on, it's great entertainment for us race fans, isn't it? Carlos Rivas, the Pro-Am champion for Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland 2021. So the cars will make their way into the Parc Fermé area, then of course the podium to come. So Porsche Carrera Cup has been fantastic. Here's confirmation of the classification then. Leon Köhler taking the win from Larry Ten Voorde and Bastian Boos. Those are the three drivers that you'll be seeing on the podium. Morris Schering, P4, Yuko Honkatori, P5. Then was Ian Chan Guben and Christopher Sochling. Rudy Van Buren completes the first page of our classification for the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And I love to see the marshals then really taking part in it as well and waving their flags nicely. And they, of course, really enjoying the race action that has been delivered. In the drivers' classification then, it actually finished up at the end with Luke Hartog finishing 3 points ahead of Bastian Boos. It was 301 to 298.
So as the sun sets on the 2021 season of the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, we just say thank you to all the drivers who have entertained us throughout this year. It has been thoroughly entertaining. I don't think there have been any races that have been dull, and it really has been a very exciting season, particularly the talent pool drivers, and also that man there, Leon Köhler, who is delighted as he climbs on the roof of the car. The talent pool drivers have been especially strong this year as well, and they have been very entertaining.
Indeed they have, as we look at the celebrations in the Parc Fermé area, and Leon Köhler, of course, will be on the top step of the podium. Porsche Carrera Cup, well, for as many years as I've been involved in that fine championship, has never failed to deliver.
No. This year, very much so as well. We started at Spa all the way back in April. We went to the very tricky Oschersleben in May, and then to Austria, the Red Bull Ring. We had the first of 2 trips to Monza in June, and then to Zandvoort in the Netherlands, back to Monza, Sachsenring, and it all finished here at Hockenheim. And it was Leon Köhler. That's one way to flat spot the tyres as you cross the line. Wonderful stuff. And you said we were worried about fog here this weekend. Well, there you go. We got a bit of fog later on in the day. Larry Ten Voorde with some great donuts celebrating his championship win. And all the championships decided. And of course, it was the double Team GP Elite taking the team championship, and Larry Ten Voorde taking the Drivers' Championship.
And that is one very happy Mr. L. Köhler.
It was also a Black Falcon double as well, because Carlos Rivas and Luke Hartog share the same stable, and so a very successful season for Black Falcon as well.
Here come the top 3 then that we'll be seeing on the podium for the race. Bastian Boos then for P3. Taking P2 then the champion. It's Larry Ten Voorde from Team GP Elite. And then on the top step of the podium, finishing with a huge margin of comfort. Leon Köhler for Nebulous Racing by Christoph Huber, who will be very, very happy.
He will. So not just the champions doing the donuts, also the 44 car, Stefan Raykop. It's been nice to see him back here again, another in the Nebulous Racing by Huber stable. And that's what a donut looks like, looking out the back window, or out the side window anyway, from Carlos Rivas' perspective. Yet another Pro-Am championship. He became the most successful Pro-Am driver in the history of Porsche Carrera Cup Germany back at Monza in June, and he has reinforced that point by taking the Pro-Am championship here at Hockenheim this weekend.
So we await the podium then, as the cars in the podiums. Before we hear from just some of the protagonists in the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, we'll be seeing the highlights package as well. So the highlights, and there were plenty of them. That's for sure, as we await the podium.
And again, we just reflect on what an entertaining season it has been, but it has been very much about Larry Ten Forder. He has only finished off the podium 3 times this year, and up until this weekend, Ayhan Guven had only finished off the podium twice this year, and there's a legend in the world of Porsche Carrera Cup.
Big shout out to Burkhard Bechtel then on the right-hand side of your picture there. He's done his hair especially for the weekend.
It's the same as yours.
Oh, cheers. No, Burkhard won't mind me mentioning that.
And of course, he celebrated his 500th commentary duty for Porsche Carrera Cup last time out at Sachsenring, and an absolute legend in the world of Porsche Carrera Cup.
At the end of the day, it was the disqualification in heat #1 this season. Der sagt, dass derjenige, der heute Dritter geworden ist und Vizemeister.
So we just wait now for Burkhard to introduce the winner. Well, first off, it's going to be 3rd place, Bastian Boos, and he'll be pretty satisfied with getting on the podium again in the final race of the season. Larry Ten Forder taking the 2nd step on the podium, and the man who's pulled it all together for the last race of the season to take his 2nd win of the year, the number 77 car of Leon Köhler.
Get Christoph Huber.
Glückwunsch, mein Lieber.
So that's the national anthem done. We were just remarking on how tall Bastian Boos is. He's almost the same height of Leon Köhler, even though he's on the lowest step.
Michael Dries, the Director of Motorsport, making the trophy presentation to Bastian Boos. And here's Suri Isaac, the Porsche Germany project leader, making the trophy presentation to Larry Tenforder.
Red Bull am Samstag, Hockenheim am Sonntag. Zum zweiten Mal ganz oben, Nebulus Racing bei Huber.
And receiving his trophy then is Leon Köhler.
There's some talent stood on that podium there, isn't there, just? And of course, the trophy going to Nebulous Racing by Huber, the team that Larry Tenforder used to drive for, of course.
So everyone gets together for the photographs. Big smiles all round, and big fella is Bastian Boos. You're absolutely right. As the trophy presenters make haste their exit from the stage, and Bastian's having trouble uncorking the bottle. Come on, friend. Oh no, you're going to get mugged. You're going to get mugged. Oh, wonderful stuff. Really enjoyable to see that on the podium after all the hard work that the teams and the drivers have delivered. Well, thank you so much for watching and being part of that fantastic season.
It has been an absolute privilege to be commentating on it throughout 2021. We are already so excited for 2022. We do hope you're going to be joining us as we see whether Larry Tenforder can successfully defend the title again in the Drivers' Championship. Thank you for your company throughout this year. See you in 2022 from myself and Dave Richardson. Bye-bye.